Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world. Now before you grab your passport, let me assure you this isn't a travel recommendation list. We're talking about places where political instability, violence, and general unrest are as common as finding a decent Wi-Fi connection in a rural area. So if you're interested in learning more about these volatile situations, perhaps because you're a news junkie or maybe you just really enjoy a good existential crisis, you've come to the right place. In this video, we'll explore the reasons behind the turmoil, the impact on the local population, and what the future might hold for these regions. So, buckle up and get ready for a deep dive into the world's most dangerous places. Let's get into it. First up, we have Syria, a country that's been embroiled in a devastating civil war for over a decade. Imagine a country where going to the grocery store could turn into a life-or-death situation. The conflict has resulted in widespread displacement, with millions fleeing their homes in search of safety. Civilian casualties are tragically high and the destruction of infrastructure is staggering. It's a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions, fueled by a tangled web of internal conflicts and international power struggles. The impact on children is particularly heartbreaking, with many growing up knowing nothing but war and displacement. International aid efforts continue, but the scale of the crisis makes it a daunting task. Amidst the devastation, there are moments of hope and resilience as families strive to rebuild their lives. Next on our list is Afghanistan, a country that's no stranger to turmoil. After decades of conflict and foreign intervention, the Taliban's return to power in 2021 has plunged the country back into a state of uncertainty and fear. The human rights situation is particularly dire, especially for women and girls who face severe restrictions on their freedom and access to education. The ongoing conflict has also led to a severe humanitarian crisis, with millions of people displaced and in need of urgent assistance. Despite international efforts to provide aid, the situation remains precarious, and the future of Afghanistan is uncertain. Yet, amidst the chaos, the resilience of the Afghan people shines through, offering a glimmer of hope for the future. Our next stop is South Sudan, the world's youngest nation, but sadly, also one of its most troubled. Since gaining independence in 2011, the country has been plagued by civil war, inter-ethnic violence, and a chronic humanitarian crisis. Millions have been displaced from their homes, and the country has one of the highest rates of hunger in the world. Despite international efforts to bring peace and stability, the road to recovery remains long and arduous. Yet the resilience and spirit of the South Sudanese people offer a glimmer of hope for the future. Yemen, often referred to as the Forgotten War, is a country trapped in a brutal conflict that has pushed it to the brink of collapse. Years of fighting between the government and Houthi rebels have resulted in one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. Millions face starvation, and the healthcare system is on the verge of collapse. The war has devastated the country's infrastructure, leaving hospitals and clinics in ruins. Medical aid is scarce, and the few facilities that remain are overwhelmed. Civilian casualties are appallingly high, with countless families mourning the loss of loved ones. The impact on civilians is profound, as many are forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge in makeshift shelters. The children in particular suffer immensely, facing malnutrition and lack of education. International aid efforts strive to provide relief, but the ongoing conflict makes it incredibly challenging. Despite the dire situation, the resilience of the Yemeni people shines through. Communities come together to support one another, and there are glimmers of hope as they work towards rebuilding their lives amidst the chaos. Iraq, a country still bearing the scars of decades of conflict and instability, finds itself at number 5 on our list. While the defeat of ISIS was a significant victory, the country continues to grapple with sectarian violence, political corruption, and a struggling economy. The presence of various armed groups further complicates the security situation, making it difficult to establish lasting peace and stability. Despite international efforts to provide humanitarian aid and rebuild the war-torn areas, the Iraqi government faces immense challenges in addressing the root causes of instability. Yet, the resilience of the Iraqi people and their rich cultural heritage offer a glimmer of hope for the future. Collaborative efforts for peace and stability continue, but the road ahead remains long and arduous. Somalia, a nation synonymous with piracy and terrorism, continues to be plagued by instability and violence. The Al-Shabaab militant group, affiliated with Al-Qaeda, remains a potent threat, carrying out frequent attacks and terrorizing the population. The country is also grappling with political turmoil, clan rivalries, and a weak central government, hindering its ability to provide basic services and security to its citizens. Despite international efforts to stabilize the region, humanitarian crises persist, with many relying on aid for survival. The Somali diaspora continues to advocate for peace and stability, but the road to recovery remains long and arduous. The Central African Republic, a country trapped in a seemingly endless cycle of violence and instability, comes in at number 7. Despite its wealth of natural resources, the country remains one of the poorest in the world, plagued by corruption, weak governance, and intercommunal conflict. Armed groups control vast swaths of territory, terrorizing civilians and committing widespread human rights abuses. Humanitarian aid workers face immense challenges, as displaced families and children suffer in makeshift shelters. International peacekeeping forces and UN missions strive to bring peace, but the road to recovery is long and fraught with difficulties. Yet, amidst the turmoil, the resilience of the people offers a glimmer of hope for the future. Libya, a nation fractured by civil war and political instability, finds itself at number 8 on our list. Since the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, the country has been embroiled in conflict, with rival factions vying for control. The presence of various militias and foreign powers further complicates the situation, making it a tinderbox of instability. The humanitarian crisis has worsened, with thousands displaced and in dire need of aid. International aid efforts continue, but the challenges are immense. The economic collapse has further deepened the crisis, yet the resilience of the Libyan people shines through amidst the turmoil. There are glimmers of hope as communities come together to rebuild and support one another. The Democratic Republic of Congo, a country blessed with vast mineral wealth but cursed by conflict and exploitation, comes in at number 9. Despite its immense natural resources, the country remains one of the poorest and least developed in the world. Eastern Congo in particular has been plagued by violence for decades, with numerous armed groups vying for control of the region's lucrative mineral resources. The international community has made efforts to provide aid and support, but the situation remains dire, with ongoing instability and human suffering. However, amidst the turmoil, there are glimmers of hope as communities strive to rebuild and create a better future. Rounding out our list is Pakistan, a country grappling with terrorism, political instability, and a complex relationship with its neighbors. Despite recent efforts to combat terrorism, groups like the Taliban and ISIS still maintain a presence in the country, carrying out attacks and fueling instability. The country also faces internal challenges, including political polarization, corruption, and a struggling economy. However, there are ongoing efforts to stabilize the region, with international aid and economic reforms aiming to bring about positive change. Initiatives focusing on education, women empowerment, and technological advancements are also playing a crucial role in shaping a better future for Pakistan. Amidst the challenges, the resilience and spirit of the Pakistani people continue to shine through, offering hope for a more stable and prosperous future. And there you have it, folks, the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world. But hey, at least now you're informed, right? You can impress your friends with your newfound knowledge of global hotspots at your next awkward social gathering. But seriously, while this list might seem bleak, it's important to remember that these countries are more than just headlines and statistics. They are home to millions of people who deserve our empathy, understanding, and support. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Stay safe and see you in the next video. Remember, knowledge is power, and staying informed can make a difference.